Welcome to Downtown Sports. My name is Downtown Stephen Brown, and in today's video, guys, I want to list all the pros and cons regarding all the depth forwards that the Toronto Maple Leafs have going into the playoffs. So I want to start with Alex Galchenyuk, and I want to start off by saying he's been a huge surprise, a welcome surprise, and someone who has made Sheldon Keefe's job very difficult. He's definitely made the John Tavares and William Nylander line more exciting to watch as they score more goals and they also allow more goals when Galchenyuk is paired with them. There's still 2 more games to go in the month of May until the regular season is over, but in 4 games so far this month, he's been absolutely awesome in terms of average game score and, of course, when you're just watching the games. If you want me to draw more parallels, I think that Galchenyuk himself and the Leafs as a team as a whole are very similar in the sense that the time is now. But you know what time it also is? It's time to introduce you to today's video sponsor. So that being said, I want to introduce to you guys the Lawnmower 4.0. And now the NHL Playoffs are right around the corner and you might want to grow out a beard to support your favorite team, but it does not mean that you should neglect the rest of your body. So if you want to start your journey towards smoother, cleaner, more hygienic balls and just an overall you, follow along with the link that is on the screen and in the video description. And down there's going to be a special promo code for you guys. And with the launch of the new Lawnmower 4.0, you can enjoy all the awesome features that its predecessor had, but it now features wireless charging, which is a huge game changer, and a travel lock so that you're not wasting your battery if it's in your bag and it happens to accidentally turn on. And just to show you guys, like, that light on the end of it is absolutely no joke. And just to demonstrate that it is skin safe, you can hear that it's on right now. I'm going to take my finger and just run it along the blade there, and I'm absolutely fine. Father's Day is coming up, and that would be a perfect gift for dad. Or if you just want to give the simple gift of smoothness, cleanliness, and hygiene to someone in your life, the Manscaped product line is the way to go. The cons about Alex Galchenyuk: there was a stretch of 9 games from the trade deadline up until his recent stretch of games when he started playing well, where he was one of the least productive forwards on the Leafs. Like I pointed out earlier in the video, the Tavares and Nylander line is scoring more with Galchenyuk on it, but I don't know how much credit I want to give to Galchenyuk. He's definitely helped with it, but I think the main reason for that is that John Tavares is finally getting some lucky bounces to go his way after some horrible luck to start the season. His playmaking ability and his chemistry with Tavares and Nylander definitely make it hard on Sheldon Keefe. It's not going to be an easy one, but his defensive play and his lack of versatility, not having much chemistry on the power play, and not being able to play on the penalty kill may open the door for another player to take his spot. Alex Hereford is the next guy that I want to talk about, and there are good things to say about this player, even though he's having a less than impressive season. Special teams. In his first 2 years with the Colorado Avalanche, of players that played at least a minute per game on the power play, he was top 60 in power play points per 60 among forwards. He can work. He can provide value to a power play, and if you're looking at the Maple Leafs' power play with and without him, they've been better with him on the ice. And the same goes for their penalty kill this year as well. He's a great puck mover, and especially when you're playing a team like Montreal who relies on structure to be good defensively, you need guys who can move and carry the puck. The criticisms of this guy are very simple, and I don't even think it's a criticism on him. It's more on the coaching staff. He's not a centerman, and he's definitely not a shutdown centerman. I don't really know how to criticize or praise this player because of the role that he's been playing all season. It's so miscast. It's so miscast that it's so frustrating to watch him play. I don't know where this guy plays. I don't. We saw about a dozen games or so of Thornton, Kerfoot, Spezza. It didn't work. It was miserable. Don't want to see that again. And that third line is meant to shut the other team down, and I don't think that's what Kerfoot is suited for at all. He can make a positive defensive impact, but he needs to be playing with guys who are better offensively. And if that's the case, there's only one other spot to put him. And that's back where he basically spent all of the previous season with Tavares and Nylander. But that contradicts what we said about Alex Galchenyuk, and that's where the problem with a lot of this lies. There are no wrong answers, but you have to ask yourself, do you value Alex Galchenyuk's offensive contributions more than Alex Kerfoot's versatility? Because remember, he can play on your power play. He's shown that. He can play on your penalty kill. He's shown that. 5-on-5, he's been miscasted all season long. What do you want to do? I also just jump right into Riley Nash next. This is the first time in multiple seasons that we'll actually have a natural center iceman on the penalty kill. He's not the greatest on faceoffs, but it's what he does after the puck is dropped that makes him so good defensively. And you got to remember that at even strength, this is a guy who starts an absurd amount of shifts in the defensive zone compared to the offensive zone, but still manages to be somewhat even in terms of the shot attempt share relative to the rest of his teammates. That is impressive when you contextualize the advanced analytics with his deployment. And when you're looking at the Columbus Blue Jackets, they're a defensive first team. And when Riley Nash was on the ice, they were a better defensive team. There is 0% chance that that guy is not in the lineup if he's healthy for game 1, round 1. The only cons that I would have to say about him is, I showed you his contextualized faceoff stats. He could be better at that. And I'm not even going to bother showing his offensive stats because they're awful. They're abysmal. And I don't need to show you them for you to know that and understand that. You already knew that. But whether it's a combination of Foligno, Nash, and Hyman, or Mikheyev, Nash, and Hyman, or maybe even Engvall if you need to use him as well. We'll talk about him in a minute or so. That's the best shutdown line that the Toronto Maple Leafs have had in a very, very long time. This next player, I'm not really going to say any pros and cons, just the note on him. Ilya Mikheyev's flaws are very obvious. But if you're watching the game and you're watching him without the puck, the Toronto Maple Leafs are one of the better forechecking teams in the entire NHL. And he should get a lot of credit for that. He's an awesome forechecker. He applies a lot of pressure through the neutral zone and on another team when he doesn't have the puck. And again, especially if you're going up a team as structured defensively as Montreal is, you need guys who can move and carry the puck like Ilya Mikheyev. And I guess I might as well get him out of the way as well. Jason Spezza, a note on him, it's the playoffs. His opportunity to rest may be the next couple of games, but he's not coming out. No way. If anything, I might want to see him play a little bit more. It's not a secret. Everyone knows about it. There was a stretch of just over 20 games or so where Joe Thornton only had 1 point. And it's awesome that he has found chemistry when playing with Matthews and Marner, and that is a pro. But when you're looking at the other lines that he's played on this year, even though the Spezza, Brooks, and Thornton line is scoring ridiculously, getting all the bounces, and have a shooting percentage over 20%, I don't know where he fits in. They prefer to have Zach Hyman on the third line in a shutdown role. Nick Foligno has really worked on that top line better than what Joe Thornton has. Mind you, the sample size is small, but ever since his play was called into question and he said that he's got a lot left in the tank, he went on a 7-game point streak and he's got 7 points in his last 8 games played. And if he continues to play like this, you'd be stupid not to have him in your playoff lineup. But you have to ask yourself, if you're inserting Joe Thornton there, how much do you want to compromise with the rest of your lineup in terms of versatility? Because he's not playing on your penalty kill. You're not playing him in high leverage defensive minutes or in any defensive minutes at all. I mean, if he's caught out there by accident, he may be able to give you something, but that's not the game plan. Definitely shouldn't be anyway. I think in the playoffs, he finds another gear because it's Joe friggin' Thornton and he's in the lineup, but that might affect the decisions elsewhere. The Leafs have gotten a lot of value out of this guy, and when you look back at the 2021 season for moments where you're saying to yourself, man, I really wish that didn't happen, Wayne Simmons getting injured is near the top of that list. If you weren't having fun watching him play hockey before he got injured, the stats aside, you don't really like the game. I hope I don't come across as I'm only putting value in the numbers, because we should be able to put those aside every once in a while and just appreciate who a guy is and what he's doing from time to time. And what Wayne Simmons was doing was special. When he first came back from injury, it was clear that he wasn't fully healthy because he was hesitant to drop the gloves to shoot the puck, and his stick handling was not pretty to watch. But that has gotten better over time. Now, I might get crapped on for this, but in terms of fighters that the Toronto Maple Leafs have had over the last couple of years, Matt Martin was in the lineup until he very much was not. Again, this video is just for perspective. If you want my opinion, I think Sheldon Keefe absolutely loves the guy for obvious reasons, and he plays as much as he possibly can. A couple of years ago in the playoffs, Nazem Kadri throws a huge hit on Brooks Orpik. He throws another huge hit, and they go and they score a goal. You can see how physicality can change the course of a game, and Wayne Simmonds definitely does bring that physicality. It's about giving yourself as many options as you possibly can, and the Toronto Maple Leafs have a lot of options, and you shouldn't ignore any of them. Everything should be on the table, and when you start saying that this guy's a lock and that guy's a lock, you close yourself off to other possibilities that might benefit you from game to game depending on what your team needs. If you want my personal opinion, whether he is or isn't in the lineup, I'm not going to throw a hissy fit over it. The Leafs have a lot of good players, and he's one of them. Adam Brooks is a great depth player, and I really liked what he did with the fourth line, despite the underlying numbers not being there to support it. He's just not getting in the lineup over guys like Hereford and Nash. But if they did need to turn to him, I'm sure glad that they have him. This man right here frustrates me, and I don't want to talk about him. And I'm not going to, because it's my channel, and I think the video is long enough. But not longer than Pierre Engvall's neck. Ha! Am I right? Come on, high five. But like I said, the Maple Leafs will go game to game and assess what they need based on what they've seen. And I wouldn't place too much stock on the lines for puck drop of game one, round one. Guys are going to get injured. There's going to be adjustments made in game depending on the situation. If they're up by a couple of goals later in a game, they're going to switch the lines around. If they need a goal, they're going to switch the lines around. If you're going with who's hot and who's not, Galchenyuk is in the lineup for Wayne Simmonds. If you're going off of versatility and giving your team the most options that you can possibly give it, Galchenyuk might not be in your lineup. The cheap answer is that depth is never a bad problem to have, but you're watching this channel for perspective and also for me to name names. So I've named them. So that is where I'm going to end off the video. Make sure to like the video if you did like it and subscribe for more, because more is always on the way. And guys, remember, use code DOWNTOWN at manscaped.com to receive 20% off your order and free shipping on all your grooming needs. Join the 2 million men that have already made that decision. And I can't thank you guys enough for giving me the ability to even say that. So thank you.